Hello everyone, I'm Giulio Magini and I'm presenting my new software, Meigstat Scoreboard PRO. This software is an evolution of Meigstat desktop basketball scoreboard, which I upgraded in the last 2 years, improving in some features. I will display here in this slide. As you can see, these are the differences between the two softwares. The first one, desktop basketball scoreboard, is free, and the other one costs 99 euros per license. I will display later how to purchase it. These are the differences. First, Scoreboard Pro has the possibility to make volley and 5-on-5 soccer, and also has more precise countdown timers, timer reset for both game and shot time in basket, and also has the possibility to set interval of 15 or 2 minutes between the periods and resume the game pressing just one button. Scoreboard Pro has the possibility also to change the background image and the font and the color of the text in the scoreboard. The images are way larger than before, as you can see here, the image of the clock, the shot clock, for example. And it is possible also to load a folder of images that can be used for advertising during the breaks of the game. Finally, the Bluetooth functionality that was in desktop basketball scoreboard now is only available in Scoreboard Pro. I've made an Android app called RC Pro, available only on the Play Store, only for Android devices, and you can transform your phone into a remote control for Scoreboard Pro using Bluetooth. I will show later all the passages to do it, and check the description because there is the link of the software. You can use the software for 7 days without the limitation. And also with the software there are 2 guides in English and Italian. They are all together in a zip file in my Google Drive. Why I created Scoreboard Pro? Scoreboard Pro has the ambition to substitute traditional scoreboards, which are very expensive and also have serious problems. For example, when the power is out and you have to reset scoring and timers. With this software, you can use a normal Windows PC, a 55-60-inch screen, and an HDMI cable or a wireless link, and you can obtain a much more efficient system. I think the 2 reasons digital scoreboards have not already substituted traditional scoreboards are precision of timers and dimension of the icons. In this program, I made timers as precise as is possible. Time images are loaded directly into the RAM, and I've calculated the exact time in milliseconds of the loading time images, subtracting it from the time count. And as you can see, the result is very fluid. I can say that is the state-of-the-art timer. For the second problem, I saw that other producers of digital scoreboards put too many things into their scoreboards. For example, even images of the teams. So what is really important, time, score, shot clock, fouls, can be seen from long distances. And I prefer to make less personalizations, but including some that for me are really important. For example, there is a timer, as I said before, and I've tried to use all the possible space for the fundamental things. As you can see, icons are very large, way larger than before. So I used all the available space to use fouls, timers, shot clock, and points. This was a brief introduction, and let's start to explain how this program works. So let's start to basic commands. Okay. For example, here there is the languages. English and Italian are possible languages. This is the changing background menu. So if you click here, you can select the background images you want. For example, I load here my image, I press OK, and then, as you can see, the background is changed. So here you can choose sports. As you can see, there is basketball and volleyball. Basketball includes 5-on-5 soccer. I will explain how to do it. In basketball, you can set the duration of a game period. So, for example, the normal duration of a period is 10 minutes. So you can set 10 minutes. But if you want to do a precise duration, for example, 5 seconds and 53 cents, you can do it without any problem. You can set here, for example, 5 seconds, 53 cents. Okay. You can, you have to put also the name of the teams, for example, green and red. And as you can see, here there are the instructions for the commands of the keyboard. I will do an example of this later. Okay, so now I have configured the match, and okay, but the period was wrong, so I put it again. Okay, perfect. As you can see, 10 minutes, shot clock is 24 for default, and you can start the timer pressing space. Okay, as you can see, shot clock and period time is going together. Pressing space, and you can stop it both at once. If you want to have only the shot clock going on, you can put it, you can press shift. Okay, so I press shift, now only the shot clock is going. Okay, for resetting the shot clock, you can press 1, 2 or 3 in your keyboard. If you press 1, 30-second shot clock. You press 2, 24 shot clock. You press 3, 14 shot clock. For example, when you have an offensive rebound, so the shot clock is not 24 but 14. Okay, so these are the timers. As you can see here, there is an arrow for the possession. You can press tab and the arrow changes. Okay, for points for and timeouts, you have Z, X, plus minus 1 point for team 1, A, S, plus minus faults of team 1, Q, W, plus minus 1 timeouts. As you see here, instead of the shot clock timer, there is the timeout timer that it is 60 seconds, 1 minute. Then when you have finished the timeout, you can simply press 2 to return 24 shot clock. Okay, the same here is O and P to plus minus 1 timeout for team 2, obviously. Okay, so these are the basic commands. Okay, if you press the menu, okay, for example, here we can change text font and color. So the normal text is Arial black. Here there is a menu with all the fonts downloaded into your PC. So you can choose all of the fonts, the possible fonts you have. For example, Comic Sans, the worst. Okay, here you can choose one of these colors. Okay, press OK, and you can see it is really white, but you can see that is Comic Sans and the particular color you have chosen. But here there is a possibility also to set a specific color. For example, here I have the color picker, so I choose a random color. Okay, here with the hashtag, I copy, I put it here. Okay, you can see now it disabled. Okay, and as you can see, return to Arial, but the color is exactly what I've chosen from the color picker. Okay, so here we have view hide shot time. So the shot time now is gone, and you can return it. View hide arrows, the same. View hide folds. Okay, so here, if you hide all of these elements, you can recreate the 5-on-5 soccer scoreboard. Okay, simply that. Well, now I put it back. Okay, full screen, you can press this menu button or press simply F, and now you can see that is full screen. If you press H or again F, the screen turns back to normal. Okay, here we have a buttons page. Okay, we can have the buttons page, so you can do the exact same thing pressing these buttons instead of the keyboard button. For example, here also there is the shortcut, so you can use Z to have +1 points for team 1. Okay, if I press Z, you can see that is X. Okay, returns back to 0, for example. Okay, and if I press Z or X, also here in this area, it works normally. Okay, this is useful when you have two screens, so you have a PC screen and, for example, a TV screen with an HDMI cable. So you can have two screens. In one screen you can have this button page, and in the other screen you can have the scoreboard in full screen. If you can remember all of these commands, you can use the buttons page and use the mouse to do the exact same thing you can do with the keyboard. Okay, and these are all the possibilities. Okay, with the specific key from the keyboard to do the exact same thing. Okay, advertising settings. Okay, here you can have you can see the path of image folder that you have to load. So if you load here, I am choosing a folder of the desktop. So desktop, here I created. And here you have the interval of time for each image. So you can put from 3 to 15 seconds how much the image should be staying on the screen. So after 3 seconds, the image will change. Okay. So in this folder, the program will search all the image files, and it will put on the screen when the advertising is activated. Okay. So for example, now I put it for 5 seconds. Okay. I've loaded the image folder. So now the advertising is ready. So if I press F1 or I press this menu button, okay, as you can see, now it is the images that are showing one after another, and you can see after 5 seconds the images are changed. Okay, if you press directly F1, okay, the scoreboard will turn back to normal. So for example, you can use advertising during breaks, okay? And also you can use advertising during 15 minutes and 2-minute breaks from of the periods. So 15 minutes break of the second and third period, and the 2-minute break of 1-2 period and 3-4 period. Okay, so if I press F2, you can see I have here the 15-minute break, and if the advertising is activated, you can see also the advertising is loaded normally. If I press enter, as you can see, the period change, so not the first period but the second period, and it turns back to normal, and the timer is reset to start another period. Okay, if I press F3, it's the same but using the 2-minute break. Okay, I press enter again, and now it is the third period. Okay, the same thing you can obtain here, clicking set 15 minutes interval, set 2 minutes interval. Okay, here there is a personalized interval. For example, you don't want to have 15 minutes or 2 minutes, but you want to have, for example, 10 minutes interval. Okay, in this case you can click here, set minutes of personalized interval. Okay, here there is a window. For example, I put 10. Okay, 11. So it is cannot be confused with the time period. Okay, I press OK. So now if I press F4, as you can see, starting from 11 minutes, you can see that the timer is going on. Okay, if I press again the period, now it is reset to normal, and it is the fourth period. Okay, the same it is obtained clicking on this menu item. Okay, the last two personalization possible are set specific period time and set specific shot time. For example, there is an error of the table, so the shot clock is not 24 but is 22. Okay, I click here, I set it 22, and for example 56 cents. Okay, so it's now set to 22 seconds and 56 cents. So you can see that are slightly shifted because I added 56 cents. Okay, the same I can do for the period time. This is very useful when for example there is an error of the table of they add an error to set the period time. Okay, so for example, you are in the end of the game, and there is not 10 seconds. The referee said it is 12 seconds and a half. Okay, so you can set 12 seconds and 50 cents. As you can see, 12 seconds, 50 cents. If the timer it's less than 1 minute, here are displayed the seconds, here are displayed cents. As you can see, timer, okay, goes on normally. So, now we will see how works Volley. So you can go here, choose sports, volleyball. Okay, name, we have only the name of the teams, so red and green. Okay, press OK. Match configured. Okay, so you can see the scoreboard is pretty similar to basketball scoreboard, but we have only the arrow for possessions, timeouts, points, and set one. Set one are the same control of fouls as before, so A, S, and K, L. Okay, points the same, so Z, X, N, M, okay? Timeouts Q, W, and O, P, okay? Q, W, O, P, okay? Pressing tab, change the arrows, okay? If you press enter, the set number changes, okay? Here you can change the background, so load the images, press OK, and then you have the background changed, okay? You can change text font and color. So for example, here you can choose Open Sans, okay? And cyan. And as you can see, Open Sans font with cyan color. But if you want, you can also use an X value. For example, here we have a particular type of blue with the hashtag. Remember to include the hashtag, okay? So if I put it here, you can see that now it is disabled. And as you can see, this is a particular type of blue. Maybe it is gray, not blue, okay. The font is the same, but the color has changed. Use the hexadecimal color you have put in. You can view or hide the arrows. If you want, you can hide the arrow, okay. You can put the full screen pressing F, okay. Press the F. And as we saw before, if you put the advertising settings, so you load the image folder, so where you have all the advertising images I have in the desktop, so I loaded the image, okay. Here there is the interval of time for each image, from 3 to 15 seconds, so I can choose, for example, 5. I press OK. So now if I press F1, as you can see, all these elements are gone, and now here there is the images of the advertising. If you press again F1, okay, all these are back to normal. The same happens when you press F1, okay, now there are the advertising images, and then you press enter, everything goes back to normal, and here we have the set number that is changed, okay. So you can use this particular technique when you have breaks during the sets, okay. Perfect. In the next session, we will see how it works the Bluetooth app, and so how it works the remote control with Android phones. Okay, now I'm showing you how to use the app RC Pro to use your mobile phone as a remote control for Scoreboard Pro. What I'm doing here is I'm adding the Bluetooth phone, okay, to the PC. Okay, so connect, and here I'm connecting to the PC. Okay, so now the device is ready. Okay, so as you can see, the device is ready. Now you can go to the app RC Pro. Okay, if I press RC Basket, okay, I can go to set the period, so 10 minutes, okay, set the 2 teams, okay, and press OK. Later, then I click on this button, and then the device is ready. So I can open Scoreboard Pro. You have to wait 10 seconds. Okay. And then, as you can see, connection Bluetooth is successful. Okay. So here, as you can see, there is some buttons, so you can choose to control the Scoreboard Pro with this button. For example, I can click here on +1, and here, as you can see, +1, team 1. For example, I can click on false, okay, and here, false. I can show you if I click here, okay, and you see the latency, okay. If for some reason the Bluetooth is disconnected, okay, you can reconnect again. So here, as you can see, it appears a menu. If you click on connect again, here is written in Italian, but it works the same in English, okay. I reconnect, then the connection is okay. So, as you can see, I press +1, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, simple as that. I want to show you the last thing, okay. As you can see, here is projected the Scoreboard Pro. I'm using Microsoft wireless connection, docking connection, okay. It costs 70 euros, but I think that is the best possible way to have a Wi-Fi connection between an HDMI screen and a PC. And the signal is very stable, and it is guaranteed for 7 meters for a distance of 7 meters. So is very the connection is very stable. I want to show you how it works with the Bluetooth. So how it is the latency between the Bluetooth, the phone and the PC with the Bluetooth, and the screen and the PC with the Wi-Fi connection, okay? As you can see, the connection works well, okay? The latency is very, very low. Okay, this is the last part of the tutorial, and it is activation of the software. The first time you will open this software, you will see this window, and the program will ask you a username and a password to activate the product. But first you have to create a user with a username and a password for activation. Okay, so you have to click here, create user for activation. If I press here, test, and test, okay, in password. Okay, user created. So now in a database online, there is a user with a username test and password test. Okay, note that the password is always encrypted, so I cannot recover your password, but I can change the password for your user. Okay, so if I choose to activate now, there are no licenses, so the program said to me that I have no licenses. I have to make the payment and wait for a response of the developer. okay? If I don't want to pay, I can use the trial version for 7 days, okay? Since I started the program now, I can go on for another 7 days, okay? So I can use this trial version and use completely the program. So what happens when 7 days passes? The trial expired. So you can use anymore the trial version. So you have to buy a program, a license for the program. For the username test, I have added 2 licenses. So now if I make test and I try to activate, the activation is completed, okay? So now you can use the program without problems, okay? As I said before, a license costs 99 euros, but if you will buy more licenses, the less a single license will cost. So I suggest you to contact me to have the exact amount of money you will need to buy the licenses, okay? You can pay with PayPal using the link you can find in the description, or in the another method you can find in the guide, English or Italian guide. Okay, so thank us a lot for watching this video, and I hope you will buy and enjoy this program. Bye.